right off the bat, I just want to say something. I'm a fan of John Campea, and I watch him every day. And he has been upset that Superman has been treated like what he calls a jobber. It's a wrestling term. They've been using Superman to make other characters on the CW look good, like Supergirl. Like Superman can't defeat this villain, Supergirl can, or Superman gets his ass kicked by Supergirl. So they've been jobbing him to make other characters get over. And he was like, screw that. They messed up too many times with this character. I'm not watching Superman and Lois. Then this trailer came out. The second I saw this trailer, I was like, oh no, this is gonna be good. And John Campbell's gonna see this. He's gonna pretend like he's not gonna see it, and then then the day after it comes out, he's gonna be like, oh, I saw it. I wasn't going to. And somebody or too many people were telling me to come watch it. I was like, man, no. I'm not gonna call him a liar, but I'm gonna say he's fibbing because I like teasing. I'm just teasing. You saw the trailer and it interests you. And you just had to hold your, and then the day was getting into 5 days till the show premieres. 4 days, 3, 2, 1. You're like, damn it, these trailers look good. I'm gonna have to check it out. And then I know he does. He says he has a lot of integrity. He don't have any reason to lie. He could just tell the truth. He's like, I just watched it. He could have just said that, but he said, my friend at the last minute told me to watch it, and I was like, this is a guy I trust, that I watched it. And then he gave his review on it. And I'm not saying that he thought it was the greatest show in the world, but he gave his honest review on it. So I give him that. But I still think he was always gonna watch it, no matter what, because that trailer was too good. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. So that being said, this show, it was interesting that it felt like they are retconning like Supergirl. They didn't even mention Supergirl at all. Not a cousin, to my Carol. This, with the whole concept of spoilers if you haven't seen it, with the whole concept of Superman raising two boys and worrying whether or not they're going to manifest powers. You have these two city boys. Like times are tough. The Daily Planet is making some cutbacks. They even cut their second best reporter, Clark Kent, and he's thinking about like maybe it's time to go back to a simpler life. To me, this show felt like an extension of Smallville. If all the things that Clark went through in Smallville didn't happen, like if he never met Lex during that time, or if he if he just never went through all the adventures, like the big villains that he met, like when he met a version of Doomsday and Aquaman and Flash and all these heroes and all these, and went through all that. Every episode that was kind of like minor, like when he first got his abilities to shoot his heat vision and things like that. Everything that went on in that story that did not include the Wall of Weird, Chloe, and all that stuff, and going through a villain of the week, and the issues with Lex and his father. Take all of those things out of it and keep everything else in. The dilemma, I like this girl, does she like me, and all that stuff. Keep all of that stuff in. And never getting to Metropolis, and never meeting Lois, and at that moment, but only meeting her for the first time, and when you moved out to Metropolis, I felt like that's what this show was. This was an extension of Smallville, because they even talked about that in the CW in the crossover shows, where they kind of mentioned that whole thing where when Tom Welling's Superman caught Lois and when she fell off the ladder and stuff, they said that he went through it too. So maybe that's what the intentions were, to kind of reboot what they kind of started Superman off to be. But the way they started him off, when they introduced him in Supergirl, they really didn't handle it right, because Supergirl, it just didn't. I know it began on a different network on CBS and everything. Then it got pulled into the CW, and it just did not fit. The tone of that show just does not fit in the Arrowverse. The way now, Flash was very lighthearted in comparison to the Arrow, this version of the Arrow in the Arrowverse, but it's the tone around it. Everything around him fit. He was a lighthearted character in a dark, dark world, so it still fit. This Superman and Lois show is deep. Not dark, but deep. Even though they started the show off so lighthearted. Hey, one of my favorite lines in this episode was in the beginning when they showed him wearing his old school costumes from the action comic days. And it's like he saves his little boy and he goes, nice costume. And the Superman's like, thanks. My mom made it. He flies away. He's such a boy. He was a straight up Boy Scout. And it showed him evolving, falling in love with Lois and fighting these villains, saving lives. And after a while, that boy, and it was like it was showing us all the Supermans from the different eras, the golden age of comics, silver age, and all that stuff, and to the modern age, to today. It kind of showed us all of that a little bit as he evolved. That might have just been a few years that we saw, but it really was showing the different decades. I wouldn't have been surprised if we'd have got that mullet, Superman, but we didn't, that rock star cut. But they changed they kept showing the suit changing. And now this current suit is very much Henry Cavill's suit. It's damn near close to it. They're damn near identical, pretty much. But and taking that, and then now this Superman that we have now, when the story really starts, he's still lighthearted, he's still optimistic, but you can tell he's a father now. He's got that dad look in his eyes. He's worried constantly about, is he doing the right thing? Is he being a good dad? Is he being a good man? Is he doing what he has to do? I feel like they are doing justice to the Superman CW version now. And maybe ignoring Supergirl is not a bad idea. The problem is we've already got him introduced in Supergirl, and then it feels like this is like 15 years. Now he leaves Supergirl, so me and Lois are about to go off and have a family. Now it feels like it's been, 15, 16 years later, and we're still in modern day. The year is not, 2035. Maybe they will do that. Maybe they won't. But either this is the year 2035, or maybe everything in Supergirl was happening in 2010, maybe, and maybe this is 2025, maybe. Maybe they'll explain it that way, but no. But all the other things in Flash, everything that they can probably retcon it and wish it away after the worlds collide and then the worlds merged and stuff. But I feel like this is cleanup. I honestly feel like they're going to ignore that he met Black Lightning, that he met all those other Supermen, that he has a cousin, and that's why this is the last season of Black Lightning. They're not gonna mention him. He's not gonna mention. They're not gonna mention them. They're not gonna mention each other, and that's it. And I think that's an okay thing because they really got some work to do with Superman, and this is a good way to start it off. I liked. As much as I liked the action and the fighting and the Superman rescue and saving the day, what I liked more about this show was Clark. I didn't buy him as Clark at first. I totally buy him as Clark now. Everything with I didn't buy her as Lois. Her best line to me in the crossover was, kick his ass, Barry. Well, he's a jerk. That was Lois. That was the first time she really showed me that she can play Lois. But that was Lois. They really captured, because they made this feel like a movie. They put some HBO Max money into this one. Now that could be a good thing. You got them hooked in, but what if if episode 2 is a step down in quality? Then I'm going to be disappointed. What I'm looking for is for them to focus more on the Smallville side of this. He might have some things to do as Superman out there, but if they can, I feel like they might tap into that. When I say Smallville, I mean the TV show. The fact that they had that rule, no flight, no tights, and they lasted for 10 years. How the hell did they make that work? Because they focused on the character. Now, eventually, towards the end of that series, it started to get a little ridiculous and stuff, and they were trying to jerry-rig Superman in there, even though that was the rule that they would not break, until the very, 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 very end. But it feels like they're adopting that no flight, no tights thing into this show. Maybe 10% flight and tights. You know, maybe 5% tights, 10% flight, if that makes sense, or vice versa. But the rest, 85%, Smallville. Keep it on the ground. Keep the humanity a part of it. And I think that's going to be a beautiful thing, because the drama, it fits. And let me tell you what show this really fits with. Because if they would have had this to be the third show that introduced after Flash, this would have fit perfectly with season 3, 4 of Arrow, season 1 especially. This fits with season 1 of Arrow. This show could have been the spinoff first if they did it this way, then introduce Flash later. They could have introduced this Superman and Arrow at the same time, developed this world, and Flash would have been like the Boy Scout of it when he would introduce. That would have been a new Trinity for the CW right there, because you were not allowed to bring in Batman at the time. Now, if they would have started off like this, it'd have been crazy. It would have been crazy because it fits. This reminds me of season 1 of Arrow. It reminds me of season 1 of Flash. This worked. This is what Supergirl should have been. There was a comic book where Supergirl is being introduced to the world for the first time. Superman feels protective of her. She doesn't even speak the language. And Batman just sees her as a threat. Now, if they would have gone that route with the Supergirl series, just her trying to prove that she's not a threat, not even wearing the costume at first, saving people behind the scenes, barely being shown. But hindsight is 20/20, and a lot of things with the Supergirl worked. So now that we've got this Superman TV series to compare it to, now I'm like, yeah, this is the way you should have handled the Supergirl one. So I'm not surprised that they're canceling everything. They're probably starting over from scratch. When Flash ends, if this show continues, this probably won't be called the Arrowverse anymore. They might be creating a whole new universe, Superman verse or the Superverse. They're changing it to that. I would not be surprised. The relationship between Lois and the General, her father, and with Clark is also another great thing about this show. The kids are great as well. Now, we got Sloane from Entourage in there. I'd love to see her in anything. I don't know if I buy her as a Lana Lang, but I do like her as an actress, so I'm fine with it. Her daughter stole the show. Like, my dad, you jealous of Clark because you liked him on Facebook. You just a hater. Do you a firefighter? What you jealous over a reporter for? Why? Because he's taller than you? Wait till you find out he's Superman. You really ain't gonna like him. I have a theory already about this show. I believe that everybody who was a childhood friend, like Lana's husband, the General, the stepdad, and Luther, and all are all in on it. Are all coming after Clark and his family. I feel like this is a conspiracy show of who are all coming after Clark. I would not be surprised if it was like Luthor, the General, and a few other people that's embedded in his personal life. I wouldn't be surprised if they were the ones that killed his mom. I would not be surprised. That was another shocker that I didn't think they would do so fast. Because Martha was always there, even after the father died. So she died a little young, in my opinion. Or maybe not. Maybe not. But I feel like that happened a little too soon. But I guess it made sense for the plot, for the reason why you get them to come back to Smallville. Feel like this is going to be a perfect blend between a Metropolis or a Supergirl show and a Smallville show. And they're trying to find a perfect balance between that. But also the DCEU version with Henry Cavill mixed in there as well. I feel like they're taking elements out of all of them. And that's how I feel about it. So A+ so far. I give it an A, maybe a B+. A- B+. That's where I'm at. B- A+. type of show. A minus B plus. If I'm saying it. Damn it, Chris. I haven't been in high school in a minute. But that's how I felt about it, man. What were your thoughts on this show? Are you right there with me? Do you feel like they totally gonna erase everybody else? Black Lightning, Flash, all that. Will Flash make an appearance here at all? Will we ever see any more crossovers and stuff? Or that's it? Or I feel like they're getting rid of the Arrowverse, and they're now gonna try to use this TV series as the new foundation of a new era, because there was nothing else was mentioned. Nothing. Not Barry Allen. Nothing was mentioned at all. And if this is supposed to be 15 years later, or if this is supposed to be present day, they're retconning. They're starting a whole new CW universe. That's how I feel about it. And they're just using these same two characters. That's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think about it, and share your thoughts below. What you think about this first episode of Superman and Lois. And we'll put it in the box below, and we'll talk about it on the next episode of We Got Your Mail. You can follow me at Chris Fagan 1980 on Twitter and Instagram, and also follow us on T3 Medias on all social medias. If you want to send anything you think we should cover for the main show, send them to us at T3 Medias, or email us at t3medias.com. Until next time, guys. Hey, peace.